Yo, what's going on, everybody? As always, this is your boy John, the Date Dr. Clark. Derrick Jaxn, I got a message for you, man. And I'm going to say it again, just in case nobody understood the name. Derrick Jaxn, I follow him and on quite a few platforms. He's like a pretty popular, pretty big relationship guru. I know a lot of times he does downplay a lot of us guys, but a lot of times a lot of what he says about us, y'all, are pretty accurate. So I can't really downplay it too much. And of course, he gives gives quite a bit of insight to our ladies. And a lot of times our ladies, they do need it. And sometimes he gives us guys our grace. He gives us our magnitude. He gives us our uplift. He holds us accountable in different things. Can't even knock him like that at all. So I'm not going to advertise him as just a terrible, super toxic individual. But I do have a few concerns about you, Derrick Jaxn. You did wrong, man. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to downplay. I'm not going to discredit what you did in reference to your bond, your shared bond, in reference to your best friend, in reference to your wife, in reference to your better half. But that's besides the point. You did wrong, and therefore you should be held accountable for your actions. And yes, it does kind of go against your philosophy. Yes, it does go against, your mission and everything that you've been more so standing for, and it goes against the level of advice and suggestions that you've been kind of giving out to the people. But that's not the point of the video that I'm making today. I just feel like I had to throw it in there. But the point I'm making today, man, is your apology that you gave to the world today. At this time, you don't owe us an apology right now. We're secondary to what you need to be doing. I'm going to say it again, Derrick Jaxn, just in case you didn't hear what I said. We're not the priority. We're not the primary apology that needs to be given. Yes, we watch you. Yes, we subscribe to your channel. Yes, we like a lot of the things that you're doing. Yes, we love. Yes, we share. Yes, we support a lot of the things that you do. We're not the primary group of people that needs to feel you. We're not the primary group of people that needs the apology from you right now. We're not the primary group of people that's laying next to you right now. We're not the primary group of people that you've let down. We're not the primary group of people that you decided to be dishonest in reference to on multiple occasions. Not sure if everybody heard the multiple part when it came to women in this video that he mentioned earlier. But back to you, Derrick. We're not the primary center of focus that you need to be focused on right now. You don't need to go live on Instagram. You don't need to go live on YouTube. You don't need to go live on any level of your social media platforms right now. But for some reason, you feel like you need to. You need to go live on the individual that you decided to walk down the aisle with. You need to go live on the individual that you decide to purchase a house with. You need to go live on that platform of that bond that you decided to disrupt. You need to go live on that level of camaraderie that you decided to break with multiple women. Don't put your wife on live like that. Don't put her out on your platform because you're trying to give us this initiative that you're apologetic. We're not your primary focus right now. Your wife is your primary focus. You are your primary focus. Again, you don't owe us that primary apology. Yeah, you might get rid of it. Yeah, we might not like a lot of your postings now. Right now, the people, we're irrelevant to what you decided to disrupt. Don't dare put your wife on live like that, man. That's not doing us a service. That's doing your wife a disservice. That's possible disrespectful to your wife because at the end of the day, man, if you look at your videos, if you look at your platform, if you look at every live video that you posted today, and I was watching all of them, your wife didn't want to be there, man. But she's loyal to you. She didn't want to be in front of millions of people knowing that her significant other, knowing her, million follower husband decided to step out on her, decided to commit adultery, decided to get all into the infidelity style of fashion. She didn't want to be right beside you in front of millions of people. You didn't do it to apologize to your wife in front of millions of people, man. You did it for by far one of the most narcissistic reasons that has been taught to the average person. You did not do it for the sake of your wife. And man, that was by far one of the most inconsiderate things that you can do. But I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm just trying to hold you accountable the same way that you hold the same amount of people accountable that follow you. Because man, people listen to you. Again, you didn't apologize to your wife on national platforms. You didn't do that, man. You did it to save your brand. But guess what's the primary purpose of your brand, man? The person that's either to the left of you or the person that's to the right of you, depending on how the video looks. That's your brand that you decided to add a level of distrust into. That's your brand that you decided to break the bond. That's your brand right there, man. And if there was a mirror sitting directly in front of you, that's your brand that you need to accept accountability for. Accepting accountability has nothing to do with showcasing everything that you may have done wrong to millions of people just so they can keep liking your stuff. That's not accountability. That's a diagnosis. That's narcissism. And bro, that's what you did today, man. If you want to apologize to anybody, apologize to your wife. You don't need to apologize to her with millions of people around. That's irrelevant, man. That's another way to get more likes. That's another way to get more views. That's another way to get more shares, man. And again, as a disclaimer, I'm not making this video to be disrespectful to you. It may come off that particular way, man. But at the end of the day, as black men, we have to hold each other accountable. And man, you need to be held accountable for your actions today. I think you believe that you did it. You made this live video because you wanted the world to be informed of what took place. We don't need to know that, man. But unfortunately, it got out. You don't need to let us know that. Yeah, it may be mindful because, this is the image that you're giving off. But what you did today, man, was piss poor. It was very relevant. You added a different level of disrespect to your wife. She's already on this pedestal now, on this platform now, because what the world has just found out that you just done multiple occasions, possibly for the past 7 to 12 months, based on what you mentioned on the video. You embarrassed your wife, man. That's by far one of the most disrespectful things that you can do to someone that you consider your better half. That was very disrespectful to her, man. And to be honest, I think you owe her another apology. You don't need to go live in reference to that, man. It wasn't called for. Work on your bond. Work on your marriage, man. You don't need to portray it out for the world to see. If we're your true followers, if we're your true fans, if we're your ride or die, we'll be okay. You might lose a couple of us, but at the end of the day, man, you're gonna possibly lose her, or you could possibly lose her. But you're too busy fixated on the likes and the dislikes and your shares, man. Derrick Jaxn, get your life in order. Get your priorities in order. Forget about the views and the likes and the shares right now. You should be more focused on the views and the likes and the shares and the subscribers and the followers of your wife right now. Focus on her still wanting to follow your guidance. Focus on her still wanting to share you emotionally. Focus on her even wanting to still love you, still like you, still want to be in your presence. We're not your primary right now, man. Your wife is your primary. It's time for you to remove yourself from the narcissistic horse, the inconsiderate horse, the disrespectful horse, man. Bro, it's time for you to do better. That was a pretty bad decision that you did today, and you owe your wife an apology, man. Your wife was very uncomfortable in that video, and you didn't care. You did it for your own greed. You did it for your own self, and that was a very inconsiderate move. And when you pay close attention to a lot of your comments and on your Instagram and on your Facebook and on your YouTube platforms, man, you made light of everything you made light of a lot of things. You took everything as a joke. I'm not saying that when you made a video, you need to be snotting and sneezing and all tears, but dog, you were not as humble as you needed to be. You gave textbook responses. You gave responses because you did not want the world to hold you so much as accountable. You gave responses because you didn't want to hear the criticism that the world was going to have to be presented to you. You gave reverse psychology responsibility because you wanted the world to believe that you had already been counseled. You wanted the world to believe that you know how to talk to yourself. You wanted the world to believe that you are a person that's willing to follow his or own craft. But sir, we see right through those things, man. Keep in mind that the people that are following you, the people that are interested in listening to the things that you have to say, we've been harmed. We've been hurt. We've been lied to. We've been in toxic-like situations. We've been manipulated. We know those feelings. We know how it looks. So when we have an individual that has been dishonest for some time, when we have an individual that has committed adultery, when we have an individual that has, cheated, and if he or she is unwilling to accept accountability, we know how it feels to be on the receiving end. But this is the information that you're giving off. And these are the information that you're telling folks to avoid. Dog, you're giving us reasons to believe that it's hard for us to trust you because you're not ready and willing to accept accountability. You're not ready and willing to eat what you're serving to the community. I'm going to say it again. It appears as though you're not ready and willing to eat what you're serving to the community. And man, you got to do better. Because if it's not edible to you, what makes you think it's going to be edible to everybody else? I'm going to say it again. If what you're serving to the community, if what you're fixing to the community is not edible to you, then why serve it? People can read between the lines, man. So again, I'm still going to follow you because I like the information that you're giving off, and everything that you do say makes sense. Your action that you showed, obviously over the 12 months, they don't match it to the level of advice that you're giving. But the advice that you're giving is pure. It's head on. I'm probably still going to subscribe to you. But my level of respect for you, man, has definitely decreased. You owe your wife an apology. You don't owe us an apology right now. We can wait. We can wait. Your wife can't wait. Do her much better, man. If you all are having problems between 7 and 12 months, don't air it out to the world the way you did, because you did a cry out for help on your videos. And people are able to see it. And what happens in the dark, my friend, by the level of advice will eventually come to the light. And these are my thoughts, man. No disrespect to you. Maybe it may have come off very disrespectful, man, but I'm in a position where I love to hold my people accountable. And that's just who I am. So again, man, if you want to look me up, John the Date Dr. Clark on all of my pretty much platforms. YouTube, The Date Doctor. Facebook, John the Date Dr. Clark. Instagram, _Date Doctor. Again, to all my family members and my supporters, my associates, my friends, my co-workers, I appreciate you all tuning into this video. Feel free to like it. Feel free to share it. Feel free to show it to the masses. It is what it is, y'all. But these are just some of my views on on Derrick Jaxn. And Derrick Jaxn, if you're listening in, man, don't take any harsh feelings on what I had to say, man. It's just speaking the truth. I'm only doing what you do to the community. You hold the community accountable. Now it's time to eat what you prepared for the masses. All right, y'all. Y'all be safe out there. Oh, and one more thing. Have a good one.